I am Bhavik Thakkar. Welcome to Btitude. If you are more comfortable with Hindi language, please hit the I button and it will take you to the Hindi version of the exact same video. And if you are comfortable with English, let's carry on. Well, in this particular video, we are going to understand about alligation and mixture. So first of all, we will understand which is exactly the scenario in which we are going to use the shortcut named alligation and mixture. The thing is that this one thing is very important because usually people don't understand the exact conceptual scenario where it is to be used. They just think like, okay, in this kind of the examples we will use it. But if they can actually understand the scenario, the exact situation in which it is usable, they will be able to use it magically in many more chapters like profit and loss and time speed distance as well, where you wouldn't have actually thought of using alligation and mixture. And believe me, we will be using this particular shortcut in those topics as well, in particular kind of sums. So it is very important to understand in which kind of situation it can be used. Next, we will understand how exactly can we use it, what is the mechanism of that particular method. And third, very important thing, we are going to take some practical examples. That means the examples, the questions that are actually asked in various competitive exams related to alligation and mixture, and we are going to solve them something like this. So let's get started. So let us first understand the scenario in which alligation and mixture can be used. So alligation and mixture actually is not a different topic. We have already learned average, right? And the combined average. It is just the reverse mechanism of the same. So it is just a shortcut. If the reverse mechanism kind of question is asked, we use it. Let me explain what exactly do I mean by this. Alright, so we already know if the question goes something like this, that there are 44 boys and 33 girls, so two different groups, and we are given their average weight. For example, if the average weight of those 44 boys is given as 58 kg and of those 33 girls is given at 44 kg. Fine. And if we are supposed to find out average weight per student, that means combined average, right? Two groups, if we combine them, what will be the combined average weight, or in other words, weighted average weight, right? So all this means the same. All these three terminology means if we combine both these groups, we actually use weighted. That's why it is called weighted average. Or even if somebody asks us to find out average weight per student, it itself is implied that it is weighted average or combined average. Fair enough? So how exactly can we find it out? Now, the method is pretty simple, right? The usual traditional method is like to find out total weight by total students. Total weight will be 44 multiplied by 58 plus 33 multiplied by 44 divided by 44 plus 33, that is 77. But the thing is that it will be quite a lengthy process, right? Because the multiplication itself are big enough. So Btitude already has come up with the shortcut, and we have explained to you in the average topic that all that matters to find out the combined average is the ratio of this 4 and 3. So actually, if we convert this question into this kind of a category where there are 4 boys with this weight, 3 girls with this weight, what will be the average weight? The answer would be the same as if there were 44 boys and 33 girls. The answer would be the same. So why take the bigger numbers? So we can actually take 4 and 3. Then further we actually gave you an idea, like we can actually think something like this. For example, we assume an average in between. So if the average was in between somewhere, say 50, if the average was 50, this is the Btitude shortcut, if you remember, that I already explained in the average topic. So now these boys are 8 more 4 times. So we are actually 32 more than the average, right? And with the girl, which are 6 less for 3 times. So we are actually 18 behind because of the girls. So what is the combined impact? Combined impact is we are actually 14 ahead than our assumed average. We are 14 ahead. Our assumed average is 50. we are 14 ahead in total. So average wise, it is 4 plus 3, 7. So this excess, we will divide it among 7. So 14 by 7 is 2. So exact average will be 52. This is the shortcut that Btitude talked about, so that you don't have to actually multiply this thing and then divide. Fine, we'll simply say, okay, 50, 8 4s are 32, 6 3s are 18, plus 14 by 2, 7, that is plus 2. Simple enough. So the calculations are minimal. Fine, that is our shortcut. Now we understand that the average is nothing but 52 kg. Fine, with all those methods, now we at least know that. Now what is alligation and mixture? Alligation and mixture actually is the method, is the shortcut method which we will be using when the question will be asked in different manner. That means when we will be given the average weight of boy, average weight of girls, combined average weight, and we will be asked what will be the ratio of boys and girls. Right now we know it was 4 and 3, but because we actually used it to arrive at this answer. But now if the question is asked reverse manner, how to solve this particular question? Now look, with Btitude shortcut you already know the shortcut, right? But just alligation mixture is just a direct shortcut, so that next time if this kind of the reverse mechanism question is asked, again, what is reverse mechanism? When group of one average of one group is given, average of another group is given, combined average is given, and we are supposed to find out the ratio of quantities or number of members in those two groups. That is where alligation and mixture will come into the picture, will have a good role to play. So how exactly? Look, first of all, let us understand one thing. How will we do it with Btitude method? That will give you an idea. So we are how much ahead? This is the average, right? What is the average? The excess and the deficit should be equal, right? We already explained this to you in average. Like if Sachin's average is 50, if he would have got out for 40, 10 lesser, the deficit is 10, he has to make 60 in some other match, so that the deficit and the excess exactly match each other and the difference is 0. Fair enough. So if Sachin gets out on 0 one time, so 50 has to be the average. To maintain that average, 50 is the deficit. He will have to have excess of 50 some another time. So that means 50 plus 50, 100 has to be there. This is something we all know. Fair enough. Fair enough. Now look here. 52 was the average. Boys are how much? Excess is 6. Excess is 6. We don't know how many boys are there, but we know excess is 6. 6, I don't know how many times. The girls are 8 lesser, minus 8. I don't know the quantity of girls, the number of girls. We don't know how many times. But we know one thing for sure. 6 and 8. So 6 into 8 and 8 into 6 will be same. Yes or no? 6 multiplied by 8 will be 48. 8 multiplied by 6 will be 48. That means, are you getting it? The numbers are getting reversed. So 6 into 8. So 8 comes here and 8 into 6. So actually 6 goes there. So this would be the ratio of the number of boys and girls. 8 is to 6. That means 4 is to 3, right? Because 2 is common in between them. 4 twos are 3 twos are. So even without alligation and mixture, we can understand it. Now, do you understand what is the method? So we made alligation and mixture method right now on the basis of our Btitude logic. We don't have to borrow the logic. We don't have to, I would say, cram anything. We now know that what we did actually, the difference was 8 here. So we sent the difference to the other side, right? We sent the difference to the other side, right? What was the difference between these two? 6. But we sent the difference to the other side. So that's it. That is alligation and mixture method. Whenever we are going to be given two different averages and the combined average of the group, the ratio of members or the quantity of those two groups will be this. How do we find it out? The difference goes to the other side. The difference of this and this goes to the other side. That's our shortcut. Fine. It is nothing but a Btitude shortcut, but now everybody knows this particular shortcut. So, but it is based on Btitude mechanism anyway, that we already learnt during average. And nobody is going to tell you this mechanism. They all tell you just put, fine, the difference goes to the other side. Why? Nobody teaches you. But now we know, now we understand them. And when you understand the things in the real sense, that is where you really learn, and that is where you will be able to apply your learning when it demands. Fine. Alright then, let's move further. So now we'll know the technique, right? So now we know how exactly we can use the alligation method as well. So now we know the scenario where we can use it, and now we also know how exactly can we use it. We put the difference to the other side and we know why, right? So now the most important part, we are going to take some practical problems and solve them very easily. Fine. So first of all, as usual, you should actually pause this video and try to do it on your own first. Fair enough? Alright then, let us go for it. Okay, look, 65 students in total. Now they have got two classes, section 1 and section 2. The average marks of all the students is 78. Fine. Now, average marks per students in section 1 is this, section 2 is this, and overall class is this. So, are you getting it? Whenever we are given two different averages of two groups and the combined average as well, it's very easy. We can actually say 69 is the average of first group, 84 is the average of second group, and the combined average is nothing but 78. So the difference of 6 goes to the other side, the difference of 9 goes to the other side. That means 2:3. So class 1, section 1 and section 2, the number of students will be in this ratio. We are already given the total number of students are 65. So 2 plus 3, 5. 5 is 65 into 13. 2 will be 26. 3 will be 39. That's it. 26 and 39 students. What are we asked? We are supposed to find out what number of students in section 2, 39. Fair enough, simple enough, pretty easy, isn't it? So are you getting it? Now understand the structure. What we do is we put the averages here, here and in between. So two different averages here and the combined average exactly in between. The difference goes inside those arrows, that will give us the ratio, and outside the arrows we put the absolute quantity. That is how we will always put the value so that our mind can identify what means what. Fair enough? Very easy, right? Very easily understood. So now we can actually proceed further with the second question. Again, I would expect you to pause the video and solve it on your own first for better learning experience. Alright then. Now as soon as we look at it, we know what we are mixing. We are mixing two different sugars. One with the price of 12 rupees a kg, another with the price of 22 rupees a kg. Fine. So I would say 12 rupees a kg, I don't know how much. 22 rupees a kg, I know 42 kg, right? So I can actually put 42 kg. Now you know, right? Don't put it here, because here is the averages, the spot for averages, in between is the spot for ratio, and outside the arrow is the spot for absolute quantity. Now we know that is how we will put the values all the time. Fine. So this is the price of first quality, this is the price of second quality. What is the average price, combined price? So that the mixture, resulting mixture, what is the price of that? Now the thing is that we are not given the price. Don't put 20 rupees per kg here. That would be wrong, because that is the price at which we are selling it. Now this is our cost, this is our cost. So average cost is what should come here, and this is not average cost, that is average selling price. So you have to understand, when you mix them, there would be some average cost, but on this average cost we are getting 1/3 profit plus 1/3 profit, and that is where we are ending up at rupees 20 per kg, right? So 20 is a selling price. What should be the price here? So you should remember the percentage. Fine, that is already learned. Fine, you should have gone through that video. So how to go about it? There are two ways I have already explained: multiplying factor or replica method. Multiplying factor is x into 4/3 is equal to 20. Solve it, you will get your cost. X into 4/3, right? Plus 1/3 means into 4/3 is equal to 20. Or another replica method means an example. 1 profit on 3. So you will say if 3 would the cost, 4 will be the selling price. 4 into 5, so 3 into 5, that will be 15. Either way, you will get 15. Either you go with multiplying factor or you go with replica, but you should be knowing it by now. Fine? Alright then. Once you find 15 is your average cost, it's very easy, isn't it? 22 minus 15, 7 goes this side, 12 and 15. 3 difference goes this side. Fine. Now understand, this 3 is given as 42 kg into 14. So what will be the 7? 7 into 14, 98 kg. That's your answer. How many kg of 12 rupees per kg? 98 kg of. Fine. Simple enough. So again, if you understand your parameters well, it's a cakewalk, nothing difficult. Fair enough. Let's move to the next one. Again, pause the video, try to do it on your own first. Alright, let's try to understand how to do this. Look, so far we have seen the question like, okay, there is one kind of quality which is costing you 20 rupees per liter, another kind of quality which is costing you 30 rupees per liter, and if we mix them and the combined mixture costs us 27 rupees per liter, in which ratio those two quantities are mixed, those two qualities are mixed, you know, difference goes this side, difference goes this side, and you will say 3:7. Fair enough. You already know this. But now understand what is this question. We are mixing. Try to understand. The mixture in which milk and water are in this ratio with another mixture where milk and water are in this ratio, and they are mixed in which ratio, that is what we are supposed to find out, so that the resultant mixture, the milk and water, is in this ratio. Now you will think, sir, how to deal with this kind of a question, right? Because there is not a single figure. Had it been something like 20, 30 and 27, it's very easy, right? So we have to convert this ratio into a single figure. So how exactly we'll do it? Try to understand this thing. What we usually do, we put some average, like average price on all three sides, right? That's what we have done. So we have to put some average, which is common of all these three things. Are you getting it? Fine. Again, let me explain you. If that average would have been price good enough, like 20 rupees, 30 rupees, would have been easier. But here we are not given any price. So what could be that average? The average could be average fraction of milk or average fraction of water. Can't I say this? That here, this is the mixture in which 5/7 is milk, 8/13 is milk, and 9/13 is milk. Can't you do this? So what you are doing? You are actually representing the whole mixture by a particular average. Getting this? So don't think we have taken only milk. No, we have not taken only 5. 5/7, that means as compared to mixture. Out of mixture, 5/7 is mix. 5/7 is milk. So this 5/7 represents the whole mixture, not only milk. Are you getting it? This is kind of a mixture in which 5/7 part is milk. This is kind of a mixture where 8/13 part is milk, and both combined, this is kind of a mixture you get in which 9/13 part is milk. Once you know this, you can actually look, these are fractions, not that easy, but it's okay. You can still do it. This minus the difference of these both goes to this side, the difference of these both go to that side, and then you can find out the ratio. And even if you take water in all the three quantities as an average, the answer will also be the same. So whatever answer you will get here, even if you take, look, you can represent your mixture by any of those quantities. You can also say that 2/7 of this mixture is water, 5/13 of these mixture is water, and when they are combined, 4/13 of that mixture, I will just put it here, is water. So even if you do this minus this goes this side, this minus this goes to that side, still the answer would be same. Are you getting this? But now Btitude technique. What we don't want to do is, we don't want to deal with the fractions, right? So how will we do it? Just try to understand this way. Look, the thing is that if I would have given you the question where I would have said, in this particular mixture 20% is water, in this particular mixture 30% is water, and combined 27% is water, what you would have done? You would have done directly 20, 30, 27, difference goes there, 3:7. The thing is that because when I say percentage, the common denominator was 100, because it was denominator everywhere. 20% is 20/100, 30 is 30 by 100. Because it is everywhere, you don't have to consider this because it is just the ratio. It will be cancelled anyway, right? So what we should do is, we should actually take kind of the figures in which the denominator is the same. Then it would be easier. So how we can do it? Try to understand. Here, how exactly in exam we will do it? Try to understand this. 7 is the total, 13 is the total, and 13 is the total. So basically 7 and 13. If I assume total to be LCM of 7 and 13, that is 91. Things become very easy. So 91, remember. Now I'll always take smaller figure. Water is smaller in all the three. Let us represent all mixtures by water. It would be easy. So now understand this. 91 is what I want to make. Total is 7. I'll multiply it with 13. 2 into 13, 26. Total is 13. I'll multiply it with 7. 5 into 7, 35. What is the average? Average 4 into, because total is 13, into 7, 28. So what is the difference? 7. What is the difference? 2. 7 is to 2 is my answer. So even if you deal with fractions, you will end up with the same answer, 7 is to 2. So the choice is yours, right? Either you can represent them with milk or with water, or you can deal with the fraction, or you can deal with the integers by making the denominators same. Fair enough, the answer is going to be the same in all those cases. Fair enough? So I hope this concept is clear. I'll take one more example very similar so that you can get more confident. Fine, pause this video and just nail it. Fine, so that you will be full of confidence that you can at least deal with this kind of the basic questions. This is very basic, it's not difficult at all. So here, try to understand this. This and this are getting mixed, and we are getting this after all. This is a combined average. So you can represent them by anything. Let us represent them with liquid B, which is smaller in all the cases, right? Liquid B, easy. Now look, total is 10, 3 plus 1, 4, 10, 4 is 20, and 15, 60. 60 will be the LCM. Let us make 60 in all the cases. 60, and we are taking B. 10, so into 6. So 3 into 6 is 18. Here 3 plus 1 is 4. So into 15 to make it 60. Into 15, so 1 into 15 is 15. This is what? Total is 15. We want to make 60. So into 4. So 4 into 4, 16. Difference is 1. Difference is 2. That's about it. 1 is to 2. That is the ratio in which two casks should be mixed. So in what ratio must the mixture from two casks must be mixed? 1 is to 2. There you go. As simple as that. Fine, it cannot get any simpler than this. Fair enough, right? So I hope you are enjoying this. This is very good question. Go for it. It will definitely rock your mind. But this is very good question. Please go for it. Oh no, this is the same question, isn't it? Sorry, here, right? This is very good question. Go for it, pause the video. All right then, fine. All right, now the question, as soon as we look at this question, we'll think, what is that average? We are not given any average. You will not be able to understand that unless you're conceptually clear to understand this. 80% of milk. So milk, look, the average is actually how much is removed. So milk, water and mixture, right? Because the combined impact of milk and water is mixture, right? Total mixture is made of two parts, milk and water. Now the average is percentage removed. So you can say 80% of milk is removed, right? 40% of water is removed, right? And combined, just understand this, mixture is removed how much percentage? Because initially it was 140 liter and after this removal only 49 was left. That means in percentage 49 out of 140 multiplied by 100, this is all that was left, right? 7 sevens are, 7 20s are, 25s are, so 7 5s are, 35% was left. Try to understand, 35% was left, and this is 80% of milk and 40% of water is taken out. So how much of the mixture is taken out? Because only 35% is left. Can we say 65% is taken out overall? right? So mixture is comprising of two different liquids, milk and water. Milk is 80% of milk is taken out, 40% of water is taken out, and as a result 65% of mixture is taken out. Yes or no? So that's about it. That was your average. Now if you understand difference between these two, 25, difference between these two, 15. So 5:3. That means try to understand this. What does this mean? Fine. So this means the original ratio of milk and water 5:3. Original ratio. So don't answer what would be the ratio of milk and water. Don't put 5:3. Try to understand. This will be the ratio of original. Originally in 140 liters, they were in the ratio of 5:3. But we are asked what would be the ratio of milk and water in 49 liters. So this will always be going to be there in the option, and you would be tempted to answer it, but it's not the correct answer. Why? Because you have to understand 5 parts of milk and 3 parts of water were there initially. 5 parts and 3 parts. Now understand 80% is removed. So only 20% of this 5 parts and 15%, sorry, 40% is removed. That means only 60% is left. So what is this ratio then? Fine. That is nothing but you can say 0, 0 goes, 2 3s are. So 5:9. And that's your answer. So right now in 49 liters of mixture, milk and water will be in the ratio 5:9 and not in the ratio 5:3. Both are going to be there in the options, and most of the students would end up with this. And most of the students actually may not attempt it, but those out of those who attempted it, again most of the students would be ended up with this answer, and still it is going to be wrong. This was the answer. Are you getting it? So don't actually divide this 140 liters in the ratio of 5:3. It will kill your time, because ultimately we are just supposed to find out the ratio. So say 5 parts and 3 parts, and whatever that part, 80% is removed. So 5 into 20%, 3 into 60%. Fine, percentage is common, so upon 100 gets cancelled. That's it. That's your ratio. That's your answer. Fine. So this was a tricky question, very difficult question, but this is something which is asked in exam. So I just picked it from one of the exams where it was asked. I didn't make this sum to just harass you, right? I don't mean to harass you. These examiners are asking this kind of the questions, and I want to make you fully prepared. And believe me, this is not out of the scope of examination. This is very much there. There is good chance that this kind of the question can be asked. Alright? Alright, then let's move to the 6th one. Again, you can pause the video, try to do it on your own first. Well then, how will we do it? If you understand, the question is, there is a mixture, whiskey with 60% alcohol. Part of it is replaced with the another mixture or whiskey with 27% alcohol. Now look, all those questions where the mixture is replaced with water, we already covered, right? And we do it with multiplying factor method. But the problem here with is that this mixture, when it is replaced, some water and some alcohol is coming back, both of them. So because it is mixed with, it is replaced by 27% alcohol. That means in that particular mixture also 27% is alcohol, 73% is water. So that particular method which we learned is of no use here. So here, how do you interpret? Try to understand this. What we are doing, just try to understand this particular concept. If the milk costs 20 rupees a liter, fine, I've got some milk in the bottle which costs 20 rupees a liter. Half of this milk is spilled. Half of this milk is spilled. Remaining milk, what is the price of that? Now some of you will say, sir, because it was 20 rupees a liter, half of it is spilled, it is 10 rupees a liter. Don't do that. Don't do that. It is still 20 rupees a liter. Yes or no? Because I am talking about price. I am not talking about the value. The value is certainly half. If the original value of that particular milk in the bottle was 100 rupees, now half of that is spilled. Now the value is 50 rupees. In total value is definitely half. But when I am talking about price, so whether the gold is a lot or just a little bit gold, the price is same, right? Whatever, 50,000 per 10 gram, whatever. I am not sure exactly about the price, but around 50,000 maybe, right? 50,000 rupees for 10 gram. It will still remain the same. Getting it? So even if the milk is full glass or half glass or just a bit fraction of a glass, it is still 50 rupees a liter. If you bought it for 50 rupees a liter, yes or no? So now try to understand here. A whiskey contains 60% alcohol. A part of it is taken out. So the remaining whiskey has still 60% alcohol. Yes or no? So try to understand. What we are doing is 60% alcohol, we are taking out, but still it is 60% alcohol, and then we are mixing it with 27%. So in a way, 60% alcohol and 27% alcohol are mixed, and when they are mixed, the resultant mixture has 33% alcohol. Yes or no? The difference goes this side. 3 2s are, 3 9s are. Now the interpretation is the most important part. So 2 parts are from 60% alcohol, 9 parts are from 27% alcohol. Now initially total it was all 60% alcohol. Total means 2 plus 9, 11 parts were all 60% alcohol. But we are mixing only 2 parts. That means 9 parts are taken out. Out of 11, only 2 is left. 9 parts are taken out, and that 9 part is replaced with 27% alcohol. Yes or no? Are you getting this? So 11 were the total parts, out of which 9 parts were taken out, and that 9 part, so only 2 parts were remaining, and 9 parts are getting, we are getting it for 27% alcohol. So now the question is, understand. Where is the question? What fraction of the quantity of whiskey is replaced? What fraction of the original quantity of 11? How much is replaced? Only 2 is left. That means 9 part is replaced. That is what is replaced. So 9 by 11. That's your answer, right? So the interpretation is very important. The method is the same, but the last part, interpretation, is what matters. Fair enough? I am going with a similar kind of question. Please try it. Should be very easy. Pause the video. Try to figure out the answer. Once this is done, you should feel confident about it. Fine? Alright then. Let's try to understand. 2 vessels are filled with liquids in the third, 2 parts and 7, right? So you can say 2:7. It is mixed. No, some part is taken out. That means still it would be in the 2:7. And 1:5, right? But just make sure water is there. Yes, 1 part is water, so 1:5. Now try to understand what fraction of mixture in the first vessel must be drawn off and replaced by this. That means whatever is drawn off, still the remaining mixture is in this ratio, and it is replaced. That means it is mixed with this one. So these two are mixed, and the resultant mixture, where is it? From second, so that the resultant mixture in the first vessel is, okay, 4 parts of syrup and 1 part water, 1:4. So try to understand water syrup, then we have to put water syrup, right? Because they are actually given in the other way. 4 parts are syrup and 1 part of water. That means 1 part is water and 4 part is syrup. So now we'll represent all of them by water. What is the total? 9, 6, that is 18, and 5, that is 90. Let us make 90. Total is 9 into 10. So 2 into 10 is 20. Total is 6 into 15. 1 into 15 is 15, and 5 into 18, then 90. So 1 into 18 is 18. Difference is 3. Difference is true. So this is the ratio in which they are getting mixed. But what is the question? The question is, what fraction of the mixture from the first vessel must be drawn off? So that means total would have been 5 parts, out of which how much is drawn off? Obviously this 2, because 3 is still there. So 2 is drawn off and replaced by this, right? So how much is replaced? 2 by 5. 2 by 5 is your answer. What fraction? 2 by 5. What percentage? Then in 200, 40%. If you can understand this, that's about it. All different kind of questions from alligation and mixture are covered, but bear in mind, we can even use this in profit and loss, time, speed, distance. We will go to those cases, how we can use this in those particular chapters. But right now, we should feel comfortable about this. So these are the specific kind of questions in which alligation and mixture is to be used, and I showed you how. I hope you enjoyed it. Fine, it's just the same thing, alligation method, we already did it. So I hope you enjoyed this. Please like, share, you know all those things, right? Please do it, put comments, subscribe to my channel in case you haven't done it yet, and please hit that bell icon just next to it so that you get all my notifications as soon as I post my new videos. Fair enough? So keep learning, keep watching and keep enjoying.